Everybody hates Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The reason is that it changed too much from Melee without changing enough. Because of this, it is widely considered the odd one out of the series, but people are finally warming up to it. Everybody is finally realizing that the game is misunderstood. So I went ahead and replayed it myself to see if it's really that bad. When people think of the GameCube, they often think of Melee with it. That is in some part due to the fact that Melee was released very early on in the GameCube's lifespan, and it's also the best-selling GameCube game. But above all of that, it was a perfect sequel to Smash 64. The only problem was that it was a pain to make. The Smash team worked day and night to put as much content into the GameCube's disc, which is known for its small size. Small? I mean, I'd say this is the least about average. Despite the small size of the GameCube disc, Melee had a large amount of content. So after Melee, Sakurai took a break from making Smash Bros. Games. But he was still working on Kirby Air Ride and Nightmare in Dreamland. After finishing those projects, he decided to leave HAL Laboratory and work alone. But with the soon-to-be-released Nintendo Wii, Nintendo knew that Smash would help bring the Wii to greater audiences. So they decided to announce the game before asking Sakurai if he'll work on it. Hey Sakurai, how's the new game coming along? New game? Now this was apparently an accident, so the next day Satoru Iwata talked to Sakurai about making a new Smash game. Sakurai agreed to work on the game, and then from there, production began. Game Art was responsible for making the game, which sounds cool until you realize that they've never made a fighting game before. Yeah, I can see that. The game got officially revealed at E3 2006, where we got the first trailer as well as the title, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The first trailer was beautiful. It showed the Melee characters run onto the screen and become their Brawl variants. Then Mario uses his final smash and reveals some new fighters. Marvin? In this trailer, legends were announced, like Meta Knight, Zero Suit Samus, and Pit from everyone's favorite game, Kid Icarus. But the craziest reveal was the last one, Solid Snake. After we got him, we knew that anyone could get added to Smash. Like, who are we gonna get next? Sonic? The game released 2 years after it got announced. Fans had two things to do while they waited. Number one was play Melee, and number two was check the Smash Dojo, which gave updates on Brawl every day of the week. It was great. There were many cool reveals like items, stages, and Sonic the Hedgehog, which is nothing special now, but then it was crazy to just get a brand new insane reveal in just a random Tuesday. But now we're used to that with like the Splatoon Raiders, Star Fox remake. Anyways, the game got two massive delays. Luckily we all had Shrek the Third to hold us over, but eventually the game finally released. And this is definitely a game that a lot of people would say feels like a reboot rather than a sequel. By the way, the box art had so much aura, show a picture of that. And the sound it plays when you open the channel, just boom. Somehow people hate on the game's immaculate intro, which is just insane to me. People say that it's too low quality, which I just don't understand. People actually got good at Melee, which Nintendo hated. And since people kept getting better and better, they introduced slipping, the most controversial addition. The goal was to nerf skilled players, which worked, but sucked. So you had to choose between that and getting obliterated in Melee, which also sucked. So if there was one reason people hated Brawl, it was the tripping mechanic. I can see how people consider it inferior to Melee, but that doesn't make Brawl a bad game. Every type of controller is supported, the roster is way bigger than the last time, and many beloved characters got added like Wario and Diddy. Diddy Kong had an insane moveset, but I'd still rather have gone Chunky Kong, of course. But getting Diddy is a good place to start. Getting Toon Link was odd. That's because he's iconic for looking like a cartoon, but in Brawl, his realistic style just looks ugly. For new players, there was Meta Knight, which was so OP that he still has a word that is relevant today, which means being the best, meta. What made Meta Knight so OP was his high speed stat and combo potential, which made him the most broken character in Smash Bros. History, especially compared to the other new Kirby rep, King DDD. He's a heavyweight that was pretty fun to use. He is a very cool character that I like to play as every now and then. We also got Fox from Star Fox, which was cool, but I don't know who wanted it. He didn't have a unique moveset, but he's still cool, just because he's a lightweight villain, which we don't get a lot of. A more unique fighter, though, would be Pokemon Trainer. You don't actually play as the Pokemon Trainer, you play as his Pokemon, but he wasn't the best fighter, but his concept is amazing, and that's why I play him very often. But he wasn't the only new Pokemon rep. There was also Lucario, who replaced Mewtwo. Look, I think Lucario is a cool Pokemon from a cool region, but why get rid of Mewtwo for just this random Pokemon? Like, Lucario looks cool, and he's fun to play. I mean, my little brother likes Lucario, but he's not cooler than Mewtwo. I mean, I guess maybe he would have been better if, like, they swapped Ike out for him, because Ike just plays terribly. Roy replaced Ike, which I don't care in the slightest because I hate Roy and Ike, so, I mean, I don't really care. But Pit came back, and, I mean, I think everybody's dad was happy about that. And, yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. But why not pick a more well-known rep, like Little Mac or Pac-Man? Zero Suit Samus also came back for this game. She's a lot faster than Samus. And Lucas is another new rep that was added in Brawl. He plays just like Nest, though Lucas plays nothing like Almar. A more interesting new rep is Almar. He uses Pigment to attack, which is a very cool mechanic that could also be annoying, unlike someone like Rob. By the way, Rob is a throwback fighter, like Mr. Game & Watch. Rob was an old accessory for the NES. He wasn't niche going into Brawl because he was in Mario Kart DS. But I was still glad he was in Smash, just like how I was very glad to get a third-party rep, which was Sonic and Snake. Sonic and Snake were the first third-party reps in Smash. Sonic is a terrible fighter, but nobody cares because it's Sonic. Unlike Snake, who was extremely surprising, and unlike anything we have seen before. The last new addition to the roster was the random button, which you might not count as a character, but I think it was a good addition to the menu, because, I mean, we cut Dr. Mario and Pikachu, so while we need something else, why not add a random button? And it helps each match stay fresh. Alongside the new fighters were new stages. They had some cool stages and some melee stages. There were some customizable options as well as new items, with the most notable of them being the Smash Ball and the Assist Trophy. The Smash Ball was a really cool new addition to the item pool and added lots of chaos to my games. It would let you use a strong special move on your opponents. Some Final Smashes were cooler than others, like Sonic's where you run around as Super Sonic, or Snake's where you turn the game into a shooter, which I would say is better than Luigi's Dance and Donkey Kong's Jungle Beat. So, I think that a lot of people hate assist trophies, but I think that they're a great addition. Assist trophies are just buffed Pokeballs with no Pokemon. Sometimes you get great pulls from assist trophies, and other times you don't. But I think too many people hate Brawl without even trying the game. I personally love Brawl. I think it's the late registration of the Kanye trilogy. But I do acknowledge that Brawl still does have problems, but it's still a good game. But in Brawl, the game mode matters more than the gameplay. Classic mode came back. Event mode also came back, which is better than before, so that's pretty cool. I mean, we got home run contest came back, but it's a lot harder. Old Time and Brawl is back, and that's a great game mode. I played that so much. That's like my favorite game mode. And there was a bunch of brand new just modes. Like there was a new boss rush mode, which just had you face the bosses from the new story, and Melee story mode. So that was cool. And Melee story mode, it was fun the first time you play it, you know? Like, you're like, oh, damn, this is so cool. I'm playing as my favorite characters from all these different Nintendo franchises in these worlds with, like, these characters. But Subspace and Missionary was the selling point of Brawl. It was Brawl story mode. And Brawl story mode, it's so iconic. And the crossovers, they just make them, like, they sew them together in a way that makes so much sense. And you might be thinking, well, how did they do that? Well, the story mode takes 8 hours to complete. The story consists of Bowser, Wario, and Ganondorf working for Master Hand, who wants to turn every fighter into a trophy. So your favorite characters had to stop him. Though this game has no dialogue, I would watch YouTube compilations of the cutscenes, and I would understand the story. Subspace is easily the highlight of the game with all its iconic moments, like Link getting the Master Sword, Meta Knight and Marth's fight, and Ganondorf betraying Bowser. Sorry for the spoiler. Sadly, the gameplay sucks. I mean, some levels are cool. I think Melee's levels were way cooler because they were full of, like, references to the worlds that they're based off of. I think Subspace would have been more fun if they included iconic worlds, but I digress. Subspace starts to get boring after a while, but the cutscenes never get old. Don't get me wrong with the cutscenes. The magic of Subspace was seeing all the characters interact in ways that we'd never seen before. Seeing Diddy and Fox fight Rayquaza or Samus save Pikachu. Those were just insane moments to see and play. And even bigger selling point for Brawl was the Wi-Fi connectivity, which always would crash and just kind of sucked. But there was also the vault. There is so much to do in the vault, it's crazy. I mean, you can view trophies and play Coin Launcher, which is way better than the gacha machine in Melee. There were stickers, which were like trophies, but stickers. There was also a stage builder, which sucked, but was also very fun. The main problem with it is its limitations, being only 3 backgrounds, 3 sizes, and very few building items. But probably the best thing in the vault is the Masterpiece mode. In Masterpiece mode, you can play iconic Nintendo games for 10 minutes at a time. And, well, that's it for Brawl. I mean, it may or may not be the best game in the series. It had a lot of problems, but Brawl is by no means a bad game. Crazy people say it's the worst Smash game. It's not even bad. I spent hours in Brawl and had fun with it. When I want to play Smash, I always choose it over Ultimate and Smash Wii U.